Good afternoon, students, and welcome to our ICT 9 Quarter 4 Week 4 discussion. This is Aljay Buhian, your ICT 9 subject teacher. Our lesson for this week is all about basic network errors. So before going through the topic, let us identify first our objectives for this lesson. So at the end of the lesson, you are expected to A. Identify basic network errors, and B. Fix network errors following the appropriate solutions. Okay, so now let's begin discussing about basic network errors. So if your network connection is not configured properly or suffers a technical failure, you will often see some error message generated and displayed on your screen. So these messages give you helpful clues to the nature of the issue. So use this list of the common network related error messages to help troubleshoot and fix network or networking problems. So now let us explore and identify these network problem error messages. So we have network problem error message 1. So in this error message, you will have this box running software 14.8 and above. So in this error, you will see in your computer that has no network adapter or N01. So please make sure that your network adapter is securely plugged into a USB port on the back of the box. And then box running software 14.7 and below. So a network adapter was not detected. So please make sure that your network adapter is securely plugged into a USB port onto the back of the box. So in this error message, we can see that the network adapter is not detected or cannot be recognized in our computer. So the possible solution here, we have here the possible solution for error message 1. So quick steps. So if you have a TiVo wireless G or N adapter, remove the adapter from the TiVo box for 15 to 60 seconds and then reconnect. So then force a connection to the TiVo service. Then second, try another USB port when applicable. And then third, if these steps have not resolved your issue, see detailed steps below for additional assistance. Okay, so for network problem error message 2, so you can see or you can read in the message in the box. So box running software 14.8 and above. So problem with router. So it might be temporarily out of IP addresses. Wait a few minutes and then try connecting again. And if the DHCP server is part of your home network, try increasing the number of IP addresses it can assign. Then box running software 14.7 and below. So the DHCP server was unavailable to supply an IP address. So in this network problem error message, so this is all about the IP addresses of our computers. So it might be temporarily out of IP addresses, and so wait a few minutes and then try connecting again. So if the DHCP server is part of your home network, try increasing the number of IP addresses so it can assign. So the possible solution for this error message 2, so first is power cycle your network and then force a connection to the TiVo service. And second, renew the DHCP list on your router. And then note that please contact your router manufacturer if you are unsure how to do this. So if you don't know how to fix your router, just contact your router manufacturer. So the third solution, so if these steps have not resolved your issue, see the detailed steps below for additional assistance. So now for network problem error message 3. you can see in your computer that the box running software 14.8 and above, the problem is problem with network settings, or so change your network settings to use a different and unused IP address. Or box running software 14.7 and below, so the specified IP address is already in use by another device on the network. So change your network settings to use a different and unused IP addresses. So the possible solution for this error message tree, so we have 3 steps. So if the box is using a static IP address, then it will need to be changed. So see how to configure network settings on your TiVo box for instructions. Then second, power cycle your network devices and then force a connection to the TiVo service. Then third, renew the DHCP lease on your router. Then note that please contact your router manufacturer if you are unsure on how to do this. So you have so many options on how to fix this network problem error message. So if you don't know how to, just contact your router manufacturer. Then now we have network problem error message 4. So the problem is box running software 14.8 and above, so wireless network not found. So box running software 14.7 and below cannot connect the wireless to the network. So the possible solution for this error message, so we have eight possible solutions for that. So first one is to verify your TiVo box, which has the latest software version to support the encryption used by your router. Then second, make sure your wireless network is operational and you have the sufficient signal strength where the box is located. So see how to configure network settings on your TiVo box for instructions. And then third, verify you enter the correct, which is the correct name of your network and or the correct encryption key or password. Then fourth, check for possible interference sources nearby, such as microwave ovens, cordless phones, and etc. Then fifth, power cycle your network devices, then force a connection to the TiVo service. Then sixth, move your wireless adapter to improve signal strength. Then seventh, contact your router manufacturer to determine whether you need to update your router firmware. Then, if these steps have not resolved your issue, see detailed steps below for additional assistance. And another network problem, error message 8. So this problem is all about box running software 14.8 and above. So the adapter is not set up, or it is not yet set up. So select change network settings to begin setting up your network adapter. So the other one is box running software 14.7 and below. So your network adapter has not been set up for use with the box. So select change network settings to begin setting up your network adapter. So the possible solution for this error message, first is to TiVo wireless and adapter. We need to verify that your adapter has been set up properly. So please see TiVo wireless and adapter setup for instructions. And then second, verify you enter the correct name of your network and or the correct encryption of your key or password. Then third, verify your wireless adapter which is compatible with your TiVo box. Then fourth, try another USB port when applicable. And then fifth, if these steps have not resolved your issue, see the detailed steps below for additional assistance. We are done with the network error problem messages. So now let us proceed to the common network errors and solutions. So first, network error. We have the network problem is not accessible. So we can usually see this on our computer when we are going to connect some internet, or we are going to use internet. So network problem is not accessible. So message is not accessible. You may not have permission to use this network resource. So you need to contact the administrator of this server to find out if you have access permissions. So the semaphore timeout period has expired. So the possible solutions for this type of problem, so we have to make sure that no any firewall running on our computer. Then second, make sure you have created the same work group and the same username for logging on a remote computer, because if you don't have the same work group for your computers, so possible this network error or network problem is not accessible will occur in your computer. Then third, you need to check your users' rights. Then you may want to enable guest account on Windows. If you are using simple file sharing, you may try to disable it and reshare the drive manually. Then if it is mixed OS network, enable NetBIOS over TCP or IP. Then 7, make sure the computer browse service is started if all computers are in this type of just like this one, so W2K or XP. Then 8, stop computer browser service in WWin9X, so me and the NT if this is mixed OS network. Then 9th, cache credential by using net use, or just like this one, double slash computer name slash share slash user double dot username command. So it is better to have the username log on shared computer. So if you have tried enabling NetBIOS over TCP or IP but doesn't work, you may try to load NetBIOS. Loading NetBIOS may slow your network. So make sure the server service is running, and then still need help, contact consultant at http double dot slash hidev.com slash contact us dot asp for the tech support. So these are the possible solutions for the network problem is not accessible. Okay, so next problem. So we have network problem not available. So the server is not configured for transactions. So the solutions that we have here is only one. So just type command net share on the shared net computer. If there is not a shared named IPC with that sign in the share list, use the command net share IPC with that sign to create it. So this is the possible solution for the network problem not available. Then another, we have an extended error has occurred or access denied. So symptoms for this, you can encounter this when mapping a network drive using netuse or using the netview command to view a different computer in the domain. So you may receive this an extended error has occurred or access denied error messages. So the possible solution for this is this issue may occur if the workstation doesn't synchronize the time with the server. So after verifying the basic network connectivity exists, you can force time synchronization on the client computer manually. So to do this, you need to run nettime domain and then the set command. And then the second possible solution for this is to make sure you have the granted enough licenses for the clients accessing. which you will connect to the server. Then another problem, so we have computer name is not accessible. So there is no permission to access the resources. So the possible solution for this is that you need to have these questions in your mind. So are you sure the logon user has permission to shared folder? Then second, have you tried logon using the same username and password of the access computer? And the last risky one, if you enable guest account in computer, can you access now? So these are the 3 questions that may have the possible solution for your problem, which is the computer name is not accessible. So if you will be able to fix these questions or answer these questions, then you will fix this error, which is the computer name is not accessible. Okay, then let's proceed to multiple connections to the server or shared resource are not allowed. So you can experience this when there is attempting to join a domain and you may receive multiple connections to the server or shared resource are not allowed. So please disconnect all previous connections to the server or shared resource and try again. So the possible solution is you need to try using netuse or d from a command to clear all your map connections before joining the domain. So you can also disconnect the map drive in Windows Explorer by right-click the map drive and select disconnection. Then we have another network error. So this network error entitled with network path not found in a domain network 1. So symptoms, so when trying to join a domain by using the NetBIOS domain name, you are successful but not the FQDN, and you may receive one of the following error messages. So the following error occurred attempting to join domain example.com. So the network location cannot be reached. For information about network troubleshooting, see Windows Help. Then the second one, network path not found. So the solution for this is this issue may occur if the TCP or IP NetBIOS helper service is not running on the client computer. So to start the TCP or IP NetBIOS helper service, go to MMS services, then double click TCP or IP NetBIOS helper service. So this is the only solution for you to fix the network error, which is the network not found. Then we also have another problem. So network path not found in a domain network 2. So the solution for this is you can find some computer browser errors on the DNS server. So you need to disable one of the 2 and ICs will work. So more real solutions can be found in browser issue page. Then another network path not found in a workgroup network error 53. So the solution is to make sure that the file and the printer sharing is enabled on the shared computer. Then make sure that the shared machine has something shared. Then second, we have make sure that you have created the same workgroup and log on the same username. So make sure that you have enabled NetBIOS over TCP or IP if this is a mixed OS network. Then another problem or another network error. So not accessible. You may not have permission to use this network resource. So symptoms, your peer-to-peer network may have received the following error when you have double-clicked my network places or computers near me. Work group name is not accessible and you may not have permission to use this network resource. So the solution for this is to enable net bias over TCP or IP on one or more computers in the workgroup. So to do that, go to Properties of Local Area Connection, then Properties, or click Properties of Internet Protocol, then TCP or IP, then General, then go to Advanced, then click Wins, then check Enable Net Bias over TCP or IP. So if you have a DHCP assigned IP address, so select Use Net Bias setting from the DHCP server. Then make sure the computer browser service is started for you to fix this network error. Another problem, so we have no logon server available. So the symptoms for this is that you can ping the server by IP and name but can't map the shared drive by using net use IP or server name. So if you try, you may receive the no logon server available. So this sounds like cache credential issue. So the possible solution for this is to make sure that the computers in the same network have the same workgroup or domain and have created the same username. So use net use server name or share name password username to cache the credential. So if you still need help, contact consultant at http /v.com/contactus.asp for the tech support. So also you need to disable ICF if you don't need it, and then open port number UDP and TCP from 135 through 139 and or 445. So to do this, go to the properties of the connection, advanced ICF, settings, services. So for Microsoft file sharing, SMB, add UDP and TCP. Then we also have another problem. So this system error 6118 has occurred. So the list of servers for this workgroup is not currently available. So systems, when using the net view, / computer name com, and you receive the following error message, which is the system error 6118 has occurred. So the list of the servers for this workgroup is not currently available. So this is the possible solution, which is just a continuation of the slide, the previous slide, from ports from 135 through 139 for direct hosted SMB traffic without network basic input output system or net bias, uses port TCP and UDP 445, and note that the external and internal port numbers should be identical. Then another problem, so the password is incorrect. Try again. So for this network error, you need to set up every user that needs access to shared folder on every computer they have to connect to, and then give the proper user proper permission to the shared folder. And then second, log on the same user and password. Then third, as always, you can try to enable a guest account on the accessed machine. And now let's proceed to this network error, which is there are no entries on the list. So symptoms, when using NetView /remote computer command, you may receive there are no entries in the list, and you may have a problem to access the remote computer. So the possible solution for this is, if there are no file or print shares on the computer, the NetView command displays there are no entries in the list message. So make sure there are file or print shares on the computer, or to use net share command to check sharing status. Then second, make sure no firewall running because the firewall may block the sharing of your computers from server to your clients, or from your clients to your server computers. Then the last two network errors. So we have unable to access computer near me, or work group is not accessible errors. So for these errors, the possible solution is, or first is to the net bias over TCP or IP. To do that, go to the properties of TCP or IP, advanced wins. So if you are using a static internet protocol or IP address, click enable net bias over TCP or IP. So if you have DHCP assigned IP address, click use net bias setting from the DHCP server. So no master browser or too many browsers may cause this issue. So check your browser's issue for this network error. Then last, we have unable to browse network. So the symptoms for this is when you attempt to browse your network by opening entire network in my network. So network places or network neighborhood, and you may receive the following error. So message which is unable to browse network. So the possible questions for this, why this happened. So we have 5 questions. So first is, have you loaded the NIC or is it working? The second, have you loaded common protocol TCP or IP? The computer browser work? Have you enabled and printer sharing in the access computer? Is the workstation service running? So these are the questions that you need to look onto in order for you to fix this unable to browse network. So if you have done that already, then your this problem may not occur on your computer again. And that ends our topic for this week or for this lesson. So thank you for listening, and may God bless you on your activity for this lesson. Then you may also access this video on GAITF LCMS platform at www.lcms.gaidf.com if you want to view this video again. Okay, so this is Aljay Buhian, your ICT 9 teacher, signing off.